first of all, a big thank you to our premier sponsor, Wrangell. Without them, obviously, this would not happen, and lots of great beer and pizza. Oh, yep.
Yes, I ordered more pizza. It's coming soon.
Even better. Oops, wrong way. Okay, a few announcements. At the end of this, if anyone has announcements when I'm finished, if you want to come up quickly, you're more than welcome. First of all, please, at any time, this will be on YouTube tonight. You can watch this again and again and again. There's the link. This information, I believe, is on our meetup site. Follow us on Twitter with our link. A few announcements. Women in Agile, yay, yay, yay. The next announcement will be, or the next meetup, excuse me, will be early February. We're looking like the 4th. So any women and men interested in joining, please go up to meetup.com and you're more than welcome. Agile Drinks, their next meetup, the first one this year is February 7th. It's a busy week at Grace O'Malley's, the standard place. And then tonight, because it's a new year, we are all heading over, yes, all of us, to Kelly's Landing, just up this corner, up the street at York and Front, thank you. I was thinking Simcoe. Okay, lastly, introducing Joe Little. Here we are. As I said, Joe has come up from North Carolina. Are you enjoying the weather? Okay, good.
I like snow.
I don't think any of us are. Yeah.
Hey, Trish. Here.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds.
Okay,
Do you want to do it
when
now? Okay. So a little bit about Joe. Joe has, he's got a great website, Lean Agile Training.com. Joe's an Agile coach and certified trainer. He's co-trained 8 times with Jeff Sutherland. That's nice. He's worked with Mary and Tom Buppendieck. He's been training and coaching for 10 plus years, so he's a real expert. More than me. And, he comes to Toronto often, preferably in the summer, yes? Okay. Okay, so I will let Joanne, last thing, not to be missed. The March meetup here will be splitting user stories. Myself and John Tobin at the back. John, raise your hand. Woo! So come on out. It's going to be very exciting. I think John will be doing an Irish song for us that night. And before Joe takes over, I think Joanne has an announcement.
You want an announcement, right? Is that okay right now? Okay, great. Hi, my name is Joanne Stone. Woo! Some of you guys know me, some of you guys might not. I have a mentorship group that actually goes for about 6 months, or not 6 months, 4 months. I run them twice a year. And so this next session is actually coming up. And I have 15 spots open and available. If anybody is interested in the mentorship program, you can come up to me. And I know there's a few people that have actually been part of this mentorship program who are here today. Yeah, woohoo. Woo, okay, woohoo, can we hear that again? Yeah. So if you are interested, you can come up to me, or I'll post it on a whiteboard. I don't know where to put it, Trish, but where would I put it? I can put it on the whiteboard down there. And then we can get you set up, and I can talk to you about a little bit more about what it's about. Okay? Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Jeff, and I'm a recovering Agilist. Wrong meetup. There is an event that is held annually. This is the 10th annual Agile Coach Camp Canada event being held in Cornwall. The good news is registration opened on Monday. Had we have followed the traditional process, we would have been sold out by now. However, we're doing it a little bit differently this year. There is a lottery. You can enter your name, add it to the wait list, and we'll be drawing names for the tickets that we have available. AgileCoachCampCanada.ca is the website you'll want to go to. You click on the registration link. I'll say that again, AgileCoachCampCanada.ca. If you have any questions, I'm Jeff. Come find me. I'll try and make up answers for you.
Sorry, and one last thing before Joe starts. The link for the document that Joe sent is case sensitive, in case you're having any issues opening it up. Okay, Joe, it's all yours.
Wait.
Nope.
Thanks, Trish. Hey, everyone, I'm Jillian. I'm an Agile coach at Nulogy Corp. And Damon Poole and I are going to be offering a second Agile coaching workshop with IC Agile certification in the first weekend of March. So I'll post a link on the discussion group, and if you have any questions, I'd be really happy to answer them tonight or whenever.
Okay, good evening. We're going to be talking about, and you're going to be working on, Agile Transformation Team. So this isn't so much me talking, this is you working on it. I just helped you put together a little structure. I'm going to help with the time boxes, you know, good Scrum Master. I'm going to help with the time boxes, and you get to do all the work. And do all the learning, really. And you don't have to listen to somebody just talk and talk and talk. You get to talk to each other and learn from each other. Because you have to do stuff on those pieces of paper. It's scary. It's all about you. It's not about, you know, it's not about. So the reason we gave you the thing is all the little details of the structure and some comments and so forth. And you may be going along and going like, oh, I forgot what he said before, or what was shown up here on the screen. We're going to switch this, actually, so that you're looking at the slide deck now. So this slide deck that you're about to see is over at that link. And you might want to download it, have it on your phone, and go like, oh, let me go back 2 pages. What did he say over there? Did we already do it? All that kind of stuff. And then maybe you're going, how is this step going to connect to the later steps? So we're going to do about, I don't know, 5 or 6 steps, something like that. And we'll go over them quickly right now, and then we'll actually do them. And then we'll take you through it step by step. Okay, so Agile Transformation Team. I'm assuming that you're in a company, some companies in this city and around the world have said, we will transform. Somebody took the finger and went this way. We're going this way. We're transforming. We're going to become agile. So whether you're in exactly that situation or not, often you want to make your organization transform. And we don't just go like adopt agile. We say it's got to be transformed. Yikes. Okay. How do I pronounce it? Mine? Yes. Yeah, that one. So, right? Has that happened to you? It did. Yeah, okay. So a lot of you have that situation, or you're going to have that situation, or you have something like that. And you might want to have, this is not the only thing people do, and people sometimes don't do it, but you might want to have a team of maybe 7, I'm suggesting, that does this. So that's kind of what we're talking about. It can be different versions, but that's roughly what we're talking about. Okay, so let me walk you through it. So hi, bienvenue, if I can say that. You see the information about me. So MBA means I'm a little bit more business-oriented than the typical coder tester kind of guy. But I've been doing projects for longer than I want to say. That long. More than 20 years. Okay. So we hope you'll have some more success, and we hope and think that this is a useful exercise that you can learn from and then take it away and do it back at your place of business, with your people. So hopefully the people at your table are the right people that are similar to you. They're working on a similar kind of problem. So you might want to rearrange yourself so that you're, in birds of a feather kind of a thing, right? And you're working on similar problems if you're not from the same company or same bank or whatever it is. Okay, other ideas. So there are other ideas, so we won't go too much on that. But we do think this is a good topic. Okay, so our goal tonight is to work on this Agile Transformation thing in teams of about 4 or 5. So most of your tables, and it looks like most of you, well, you guys got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. But maybe some teams are a little bit bigger. But we do find doing this in a group of 4 or 5, not 3, not 7, is a little bit better. So self-organize if you need to. Your facilitators will help you do that some. And again, join a team. Okay, so this is what I think. Just so you know, and maybe some of you know a lot, you're doing this, but there is no definition of what an Agile Transformation Team has to be. No regularly agreed. But I'm going to give you my ideas. So I think it should run as a Scrum team. You don't have to agree, but that's what I think. I think it should be about 7 people, that's including the product owner and the Scrum Master in that team, and they run like a Scrum team. I think they're doing the work to make the transformation happen. So they're not just getting together and going like, oh, aren't we wonderful coaches? We can just sit and, groak in our bliss or something. No, they have to do real work. And they identify the real work and they do it sprint by sprint, I think. They are not just advisors, so they do real work. And the results are measurable. That's what I think. You don't have to agree. Okay, so I gave you some of my ideas. Okay. They might, as an example, gather a list of all the impediments in all the 45,000 teams at Scotiabank, or whatever it is, and spin them through the spinner and prioritize them and say, okay, we're going to take these 20 impediments and we're going to work on them. So they might do something like that. And I think impediments can be anything that's keeping us from being more successful. You might define impediments a different way, but that's what I would say. And I've got, there's something that I think of as very similar to this Agile Transformation Team. I call it strictly an IRT. I used to live in New York City for 20-some years. So if you know the IRT in New York City, the subway in New York City, you know why I ended up with that acronym. But the impediment removal team, and given a big thing like, I don't know, one of these banks, Toronto Dominion guy was in the class today, that's a pretty big sized company, so they might have multiple IRTs in their different divisions or whatever, right? But this is a little bit different. This is at least probably one Agile Transformation Team that's looking at the whole organization, however big or small you are as an organization, comparatively speaking. Okay, so you might want to check out the Agile Removal Team idea, which is similar but different. Another example, maybe you're not working on any so-called impediments. You're only working on the work that people call the transformation. So they say to get these teams to become agile and to get them coached and to get them trained and to do da-da-da-da-da and change some processes and procedures or something other stuff. We're going to do that transformation work, and the Agile Transformation Team is going to do that. So it's similar. It's still working as a Scrum team, but it's a different set of work, I think. You could argue, but that's what I think. Okay, so those are two examples. Okay, the agenda. This is basically what we're going to do. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so we're getting into teams, or maybe we already are in teams, and you can still change. We're going to define our situation. Our situation is we're this size bank, and one of the top 5 banks, for example, and we're in one division of it, and we're going to have an Agile Transformation Team for this big division, the commercial consumer banking, whatever it is. And you define your situation, and you define also what you think an AT&T is in this situation. And so you may have to say, okay, we're all going to work on her problem, and the rest of us are going to help her. And she gets to define what the situation is, right? So you might want to do that per table. Maybe you think of that person maybe as the product owner for tonight. But anyway, you define your situation, you define what you mean by ATT. Then you set a vision for that ATT in that situation. That's the second step. Third step, we identify the metrics. How are we going to measure the productivity of this team? And what are we really trying to achieve that we can measure? So I'm going to recommend that you define, we're going to talk about it more, but that's the basic idea. We're going to define the metrics and maybe the goals. Then we're going to identify who are the people in the ATT, who are the key related people, what is the budget? So you see already that I have a bias that the ATT should have a budget to get stuff done. And it turns out that it takes money to get stuff done. Right? That's what I think. So no budget, ain't nothing happening, dude, I think. I mean, we got salaries and stuff, we got pencils, but that's all we got. To get stuff done? I don't think so. Well, that's my opinion. Okay, then we're going to identify, this is kind of the meat of the matter, we're going to identify the work as granular as we can get to tonight, which is not that much. We're going to try to identify the work in a concrete way that she can understand what work are you recommending for her situation that they do, that team and those related people do. Oh, by the way, related people might be, a bunch of Agile coaches in this division of big bank, or whatever company you are, right? TELUS or whatever. Okay. So I suggest, by the way, that those be in user stories. Anybody surprised? Okay. Okay. Here's a little bit about the situation. So you are not all in the same situation. Define your situation specific to your table. You might be bigger or smaller than the other table, right? Or at least that situation is a bigger or smaller context. Sometimes you've gone a long way into an Agile. You've been working on this Agile Transformation Team 2 or 3 years or longer. You've gone up the mountain once, you've gone down, you've gone up the mountain a second time, you've gone down, you're doing the third time now. Could be, right? Other guys are going like, oh, we just discovered Agile last week. We're going to transform ourselves. So there's a lot of different contexts, a lot of different situations. It might be a clear corporate objective, it might not, blah, 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 blah. So then you got to define what you mean by the ATT. Okay, and you may redefine a little bit later as you get into it. Okay, then we're going to define the vision. Relatively quickly, briefly and quickly, usefully. The group of you might disagree a lot, but if she's the key person defining the situation, then she's got to kind of agree, or I think, at your table. Later in real life, you might change your vision well, that happens in life, doesn't it? Do we have the same vision about our life at 20 as we do at 40, as we do at 60? Could change. Things happen. Okay, But at least you have a clarity at this moment in time. We're trying to go from here to Dundas Square. We got it clear for now. Whatever it is. Okay, then we got to define who our customers are. Whoops. I think so. I'm recommending that. What do we mean by customers in this context? Shareholders, the management, the people in the teams, all of the above? Uh-oh, wait a minute. They're very different, right? Well, okay, that's totally unlike any regular product. Every product always is really clear about what their customers are, right? Okay, just checking. Okay, and then we might talk about products a little bit. Okay, then we're going to share. This is what we're going to do later. Then we're going to define the metrics. See a couple of comments about that. We're going to talk about that later. Oh, yikes, metrics. They're going to hold us accountable. We're going to give them the weapons to kill us with. You see what I'm saying? Yikes, we got to get stuff done. Okay. Then we're going to define who's on the team. Well, at least, is it going to be 3? Is it going to be 5, 7? Maybe you can even name names, but maybe do that later. Do we have related people? I mentioned the idea of the coaches that might be helping the ATT. Then we have a budget. We talked about that. So you got some ideas there. Then we'll share some more, at least a little bit. We got a lot of people here. So we're not going to have time for all of you to share with everybody. But we're going to take a couple of guys over, 1 or 2 teams over here, and 1 or 2 teams over here, and they'll yell at those guys, and they'll yell at those guys, and hopefully everybody in the middle learns. Right? And then we're going to define the work in story format. Okay, so you got the idea. A couple suggestions. So I'm thinking we need about 48 stories tonight. Right? Piece of cake. Everybody can do that. Sure. Well, you can actually. You just got to let it go. Just pour it out there. Don't get the writer's block. Just pour. Just spill. Okay. It may not be perfect. It's okay. What do we know? The perfect is the enemy of the good. Or, as Rihanna said, shut up and drive. Okay. So here's our time boxes. We're finished with me. I mean, I'll come back and reiterate a little bit of this stuff, and I'll tell you, we got 3 minutes left and all that kind of stuff. Then we're going to give you 5 minutes to define the situation. Yikes, that's a tight time box. Then another 10 minutes, another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes, another 20 minutes. Yikes. And then we're going to go sort of an overall retrospective. And then, whoops, we've used up to 90 minutes. Time to go. Ready? Okay. Joe's introduction is done. 5 minutes. Define your situation and your ATT. I'll put this up here just for fun. Situation and what do you mean by ATT? Define it on those papers in front of you. I'm going to make that small. I'm going to put one of these up here. 5. Make it happen. Who are the advisors? She's an advisor. There's some other advisors out here, facilitators we call them, right? Talk to your facilitators or if you have questions. You can ask me too. I need to know. Yes. You want that one? He wants that one. So we're doing that. Oops, you can't see the cursor. Sorry, we're doing that. That 5 minutes. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. No time pressure. You can download it. Okay, time's up. Time's up. Tom, somebody at this table wants to give some feedback and tell us what they learned so that everybody over there can benefit from all the stuff you learned. All right. Who wants to give the feedback? Don't all volunteer at once. What?
You asked the question again.
So what did you learn, or what did you decide about your situation that you wanted to address and how you're going to define the ATT? Just a little bit.
Yep. So the hello? Two. So the situation is that we have a brand new organizational unit. They're exceedingly highly performing in the delivery sense.
Awesome.
And the problem we're trying to solve is to take them from being, because they're all scientists, they're all PhDs, so these are people who are used to working by themselves, and I have to take them from being a highly performing team to a highly synergistic team.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And to do that, we've got to apply new methods, new tools, new processes, new thinking.
Just a little bit. So give me the 1 sentence, 2 sentence version of what you think the Agile Transformation Team is in that context.
Great. So the Agile, this team here, my Agile team here.
Oh, they're the real guys.
These are the Agile.
Oh, you guys are cheating. He's got a real team here. Okay. So how'd you define it? It's already been defined, kind of.
Yeah.
But tell them, because they don't know what it is. How would you define it in 2 sentences?
The Agile team. Okay.
He says, it's too obvious.
No.
It's like asking a fish, what is water?
So my Agile team is very much focused around productivity.
Agile Transformation Team.
Yeah. My Agile Transformation Team is very much about productivity. They too are a very high performing team. They've been doing my Agile for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So there's no doubt that we can trust this team
to do it right.
To do it right. And we've got a lot of experience in the team to help, because we have to get to market fast.
Okay, Trish, let's do another team. Thank you. Let's do another team over there, Trish. Pick one.
This one.
Thank you for volunteering.
Okay. Our current states that we have multiple teams and they're integrating with non-agile
Multiple
teams.
what? I would call them Scrum teams, Agile teams.
Yeah, multiple Scrum teams, and they're working in a very agile way, or with DevOps, etc.
Already.
Yeah, but they're integrating with all sorts of teams that do not work in an agile way at all.
Yeah.
So we'd like them we'd like those other teams that we're not actually a part of to become more agile. Try to find a way to do that.
We're not agile until we're all agile. We're not happy until everybody's happy. Somebody's got some other sayings. Okay, so what's the Agile Transformation Team in that context?
Oh, we didn't get there. We spent the whole 5 minutes defining the problem.
Bella? No. Eula. Eula, are you shocked that Agile people can't get stuff done in their time box? First time it's ever happened, right, Eula? First time it's ever happened. Okay, so you guys can catch up, right? Okay, so enough for right now. Let's do the next thing. What was the next thing? The next thing on the agenda is set the vision for the ATT. Okay, so we talked about it a little here, right? Define the vision, right? So you got how long? Let's see. How much time do we say? Define the vision. You've got 10 minutes. Go. And you guys can catch up on the other stuff. Define the vision, yeah. We won't. 1.5 minutes to go. 1.5 minutes to go. Okay, time's up. We're going to get a little bit more feedback. 1 minute. These guys are going to explain their vision in 1 minute. On your mark, get set. Here's the mic. She voluntold you. You can give it back to her. Okay, go. 1 minute. Yeah, turn it on. Turn it up.
The mic's made up. Here, use this one.
Okay, we'll use the other one. Sorry, Sam. We're putting you on the spot. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I mean, our vision, as we struggle through, is kind of to get less stress. So there's more redundancy in the work that people are doing, because right now it's very much just sort of one person doing everything in silos. Yep, that's me. A sort of more visibility on the work that everyone's doing, because again, people are siloed, no one knows what each other are doing, so all of a sudden work appears that no one's known about, and they've had weeks to know, which is to give more predictability, and sort of more stability on the products we're working on, because everything keeps falling over, and like being able to communicate better and being able to like have more redundancy with people would hopefully lead to that. And yeah, more clarity between teams and just on the vision of the business, so there's again more predictability.
Okay, so that's the business goal overall. But then think about also, what is the vision for the ATT itself? And how do you define that? And then therefore that leads into the metrics. So you can think about that for the sort of the next round. Okay, who's good over? Oh, how about you guys? You guys were having a good conversation, I could tell. Well, a lot of you were. A lot of you were. So who wants to talk, Kathy?
Okay.
Oh, we need another mic. Tom, we need.
They all just looked at me. So anyway.
Okay.
All right, hi. Yeah. So as ATT, our goal is to develop a framework to enable our organization to reduce time to market so that we can get iterative feedback from customers at least within 90 days or less.
Okay. And the ATT is going to be the main driver of that, of realizing that vision. Not necessarily the only driver.
They'll create a framework, right? They'll create a framework. They'll create a framework.
Yes.
That will enable that to happen.
Exactly. And they're the main driver. Not the only driver. There might be others involved. I mean, the team's got to do their thing too.
Right.
But they're the main ones, at least some people think, at least we think, or they think, they're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Okay.
Okay, so now we'll do some other things. What are we going to do next? Some of you are wondering, what are we doing? We have this slide deck and some notes on the slide deck that you might want to have handy on your phone or your pad or whatever. And you can get that by downloading it, as we said before, at bit.ly/, capital A, capital T, capital T, capital J, right? O-E. Small o, small a. It's case sensitive over there. But that's the same thing over here so you guys can see it. I hope you can see it. Can you see it? Almost? Okay, I'll tell it to you if you need me to tell it to you. Okay, so you might want to use that because I'm going to be showing different pages. Okay, what's next? Let's go back. So what is? Example, blah, blah, blah. That's the agenda. We did this one. Now we did a little bit of feedback. Okay, now customers, we're going to skip that. Okay, so now define the metrics. How much time to define that? This is the metrics, not the metrics overall, but the metrics for the ATT. How do we know that those guys, how can we measure that those guys actually did their frickin' job? I'm not sure what frickin' means, but you'll figure it out, right? How do we know they did their job as an ATT team? What are their metrics? Okay, I think it's, we'll see, 10 minutes? Metrics, 10 minutes, go. Not just what the metrics are, but how much they're going to change. Not just what they are, how much they're going to change, or how much they're going to go up, or whatever it is. Go. Oh, sugar, I got to go sign out. Knew I hadn't done that. Bah. But let me do the clock. $7.19. 4.5 minutes to go. No time pressure. 4.5 minutes to go. One minute to go. 1 minute to go. No time pressure. Okay, time's up for this section. Time's up for this section. Of course, all the important work is happening over here. But, excuse me. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yes, raise a hand. Okay, excuse me. So the important work obviously is happening over here, but we're going to stay focused over here and not get distracted by the Dementors over there, right? Okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? The next thing is we want to talk about the team itself. Who's going to be in the team? Who are the other people that we can use to make this happen, whatever we define in terms of the metrics, the vision, and so forth? And how much budget do we think this ATT needs? Show me the money. Not show you the money, show me the money.
Joe, I have a question. When you say... Yeah, no, fair enough. So, Joe, I have a question. When you say who are the people we need to help the ATT Scrum team, so
Right.
additional to the ATT Scrum
Right.
team. Okay.
And sometimes you have a whole bunch of other coaches, and sometimes you got nobody. It's just you making that happen. Or something in between, right? You got some managers helping you a little bit, part-time, I don't know what. So make that fairly clear to yourselves. Then make clear, what your budget is, if any, for the, whatever, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, make a time frame. And then you go like, ooh, how are we going to get that vision to happen with those people and resources? Yikes. So sometimes you go like, ugh, okay, we got to have more, right? Okay, 10 minutes. Work on team, people, budget. 10 minutes, go. Then we'll have more feedback after the 10 minutes. Whoops. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. No time pressure. 3 minutes to go in this section. Okay, time's up. Time's up. Now we're going to get some feedback. Excuse me, hands up. Okay, this team volunteered to give feedback. Explain everything about metrics in 1 minute. Go. What did you learn about metrics? What did you decide about metrics? Oh, no, not you, after you, Alphonse, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay. So we started defining the metrics from top-down approach. We considered the end result first. And those were in two areas. One was reducing the time to market. Overall reduction will be from 1 year deployment to 1 month. So we're going to put something into production every month.
1/12. Well, geez, don't try very hard next time.
Absolutely. And then from the business side perspective, the value for the customer, there should be an increase in ROI of at least 20%.
20%. Well, if you go from, shouldn't it be more than 20% if you went 1/12 on the first one?
So there were like some pessimistic scenarios as well. We are not assuming that each and everything which we are deploying into the production will be successful. So there will be a fail-fast approach as well. We will quickly deliver something.
Yeah, but fail-fast means you learn faster.
Right.
Then therefore the good stuff happens more. Not just that you fail fast. Okay, so you got some ideas. You got some ideas. Okay, we want to pick on somebody over here. I need a mic. I need a mic. Or Tom. Yeah, this group right here. Tell us some more about the metrics. What did you guys think about for the metrics? No, you.
Okay, I'll go. Is this on? Yeah. Okay, so we came up with, for the ATT, it's going to be, we would create 2 teams from one. It's a scaled approach. It's a pretty small company.
Okay.
Time frame will be about 6 months. Maturity level needs to be about a 3 out of 5 that the teams start to produce at. And we have a stretch goal for a third team.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the way they thought about the metrics. Okay, you guys need to talk too, right? He says, "What? You're volunteering me." Go ahead. Who's Greg? You want to talk for the team? He says, "No, I'll give it to John." Josephine says, "Yes." Okay, John's talking.
Okay, so our metrics include that we have product owners created from multiple regions, because what we're trying to do is come up with a new kind of bank account system, but we want to make sure that it has representation from product owners all over.
You mean North York and as well as downtown?
Well, we're kind of thinking everywhere from Saskatchewan to Toronto.
Okay, wow, okay.
So we're thinking there's going to be about 13 product owners, and the metric is that we have representation then from all of them, so we can count where they're from. That's one thing. But we also thought that we could pull in metrics based on if we had a website that was advertising, for example, we could count the hits coming from different regions to see if, well, is the guy in Saskatchewan representing that kind of a customer, and are they interested in the product that we're offering? So that was one of the metrics that we.
So you get the cookie cutter, and the question is, how many product owners can you put out that are good?
Exactly.
That fit the cookie cutter.
Exactly.
Well, a little bit joking, you know what I mean.
Yes.
But you get the idea.
That's the idea.
Okay. So what was this? Oh, they volunteered too. Okay. Now let's talk about something else. The team, the budget, the people. Yeah, different topic. Not the metrics, the team, the budget, the people. What'd you decide about that? Go ahead, talk. They're listening.
So for our team is going to be 5 to 7. Actually, we're talking about matrix. I'm sorry. Are we talking about matrix? Or
The team, the people, the budget. Those three
so we're going to be 5 to 7 people.
Okay.
Relationship
In the ATT itself?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Any extra people?
Pardon?
Any people outside the team? Coaches, something that are outside the ATT per se? Anybody? No.
No.
Just managers and stuff like that. Useless people.
Yes. Yes. So.
Okay.
Within the team, we're looking for the skills that we are looking for.
Okay. They got the skills.
Relationship management, business knowledge, technical experience, agile experience, change management skills.
You started talking about some of this stuff over there, right? We talked about that earlier, in a way.
Team building skills.
Whoa. Okay.
And the roles.
And of course, persuasion skills. They've taken the Dale Carnegie course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the roles as Scrum Master, PO.
Okay. How much money? Show me the money.
We didn't get to that part.
Shucks. How did they not get to that? Okay. Now, pass the thing over here. I think Yulia wants to talk. Yulia, excuse me, Yulia. Yeah, okay, then make him talk. Tell him, tell him. Okay. People, the team itself, the extra people, if any, and then the budget, if any.
Okay, so we went from $1 million to 300K.
Okay, we went up or down?
We went down.
Okay.
Just because it had to be spent. In terms of resources, we were looking at 2 agile coaches, a product owner, some folks from the business team.
These are the people in the ATT itself?
Correct.
Okay.
And some end customers. We were trying to see how they'd all fit together, but that was our core team.
Some people to kick the tires and say, what the heck are you guys doing for us?
Exactly. In terms of other folks, we had the digital marketing team, the IT team, and vendors.
So some people from each of those other areas?
Correct.
That are kind of helping on a part-time basis?
Correct.
Okay, very good. Okay, now what are we going to do? Now we're going to talk about, so that's all we're going to do in feedback right now. Now we're going to talk about the work itself. Remember we talked about how we wanted a bunch of stories, 48 stories, and we want to do this idea. I want to recommend in the user story format, as a blah, 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 I want da-da-da, so that. Don't worry about that too much. Just get a bunch of things listed, like 48 items. Okay, how many can you guys do? You're going to do 80 items, right? But don't make everybody else look bad. Just do 48 or so. Just 79, okay. But write them in user story format if you can, and try to make it clear so that you think people could take these and actually do them. Maybe they're a little bit too big, that's okay. But do the best you can to define the work of the ATT itself. Not other people, the ATT itself. Okay, 20 minutes. Slightly this. Okay, about 11 minutes to go. No time pressure. 11 minutes to go. Don't lose track of your time box. 4 minutes to go. No time pressure. 4 minutes to go. Get those 80 stories identified. Okay, 20 stories. One minute to go. 1 minute to go. Get ready to give feedback. Time's up. Time's up. Hands up. Okay. Ray over here, I think it was Ray, volunteered to give some important feedback. Was it Ray that volunteered? Oh, he did. Okay. Give him the mic, Trish. This team has been working over here in silence this whole time. I mean, not amongst themselves.
We've been working in silence?
Well, compared to the rest of the group.
No, we haven't been silent.
I know. You had the mic. Go ahead. Talk.
Okay.
Time is short.
So we actually had a debate on the team because some of us wanted to start looking at a value stream, as-is mapping, work with one of the teams, and try to identify where there were blockers so that we could develop, so that we could create a backlog of work. I've been coaching Agile teams for quite a long time now, and there's sort of a list of usual suspects in terms of impediments. So I thought we could start off with a list of usual suspects like availability of infrastructure and environments, the amount of time it takes for legal to review our work or getting marketing content, the time to receive regulatory approval for changes that we're making, things like that. And then we could build a backlog and start the team working on that. We'd get the members of the team, and hopefully the CEO is our product owner. We would get that person to help prioritize the list and figure out what we do first.
Okay. Okay, you got some good ideas. Who's got a couple of other ideas of different kinds of work? How about you all? Do you have different kinds of work than what he talked about? Give us one or two.
We talked a little bit about identifying the constraints, because we're working with a ton of teams. We've got to transform 40 teams. So we talked about maybe divide and conquer, like look for the team that has the most dependencies on them and start there as a constraint.
Okay. How about a different kind of work over there? Yeah, there. Did you identify some different kinds of work?
So we kind of tried to write real user stories, and we focused.
It was easy, right?
Sort of, yeah. Like, so we focused them on people within the broader organization and what their like feelings are. So wrote down, like, one of the ones was, as a CFO, I want to know how much money this team is spending so that I can forecast our profits, or whatever CFOs do.
Whatever CFOs do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, something about money.
So it starts to make you realize you've got to define your customer, don't you? And of
Yeah.
course, we all are serving the CEO and the CFO and those kind of guys. The
Yeah,
teams
so
have,
and we had
who
we
cares
had
about the teams, right?
and we had like
Whoops.
project managers from other teams, or just trying to think at different levels of the organization,
Yes.
different people, and what
and we have a very wide variety of different kinds of customer sets that we're serving when we do the Agile Transformation team, Agile Transformation, I think. Right? Did you guys give some ideas? Or can you? Okay.
We talked about, so we also talked about training, as in...
Yes. Well, I think yes.
Training for...
I might be biased.
Training for executive teams and stakeholders in Agile, like why it's important to bring in. So our situation was moving away from project to product based. So we were talking about one user story being training and coaching. Another thing is, I can read up one, which is as a PO, I want executive stakeholder inputs in a sprint review meeting. So more presence in sprint review meetings. We talked about product roadmaps being something that we want to use. What else did we? Am I missing anything? Customer experience. Customer experience
Awesome.
incorporated into our projects and products. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the lightning round now. From the whole thing that we did tonight, from beginning to end, what's your biggest takeaway? So we'll go back and forth between the two of you. Just find person that you got 2 sentences, 1 or 2 sentences. What's the biggest thing? She wants to go first. You go next.
Yikes.
Is it on?
Yeah, I know. That's right.
When all else fails, turn it on.
I think my biggest takeaway is to actually, I'm in an Agile Transformation team. We don't have metrics as to what success looks like for us. So I think that's where we're going to go.
You like the metrics? Awesome. So find somebody else, Tom, over here.
I think it's cool how it's agile all the way up and all the way down. If that makes sense. Like,
I think so.
why wouldn't it be a Scrum team that also is setting the goals and metrics and all that and working toward enabling a whole team of Scrum teams in
Awesome.
an organization?
Okay, Tom's got somebody else. Thank you.
So what we learned is there are no shortcuts for the success. So
it's hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work.
Who knew?
We have to start from the basics. You have to start from transferring the knowledge, the benefits of being agile, not to the people who are working on, but to everybody. If you want to include your customers as well, they need to know that what are they getting out of it, and work all the way down.
Yes, the Agile Transformation team doesn't work for itself. It works to serve customers. Then we got but who are the customers then? Yikes. That's a problem. Trish.
I think for just piggybacking off your point about metrics, the fact that a transformation team doesn't think about metrics, one. But the other one, when you do have to think about metrics, even coming up with how to measure, for example, your own success. Yes, you could do, or your own growth, team velocity, some of these other things, but your success is kind of defined by the success or growth of other teams or people. And so you have to measure things like happiness, and you have to quantify that, things like maturity. So we had a really good discussion around how to, and it was difficult for us to think about how do we measure our own success when it's so dependent on others. And that was tough to come to.
Yeah, if it's a parent, do they graduate from high school? Yeah. Okay, Louise. I'm sorry, Louise was going to say something.
Adding to this.
Okay. What's the biggest takeaway? Anything, earlier or later?
I think because we were defined,
speaking to the mic.
because our team was defined like we had 3 coaches, right? So our coaches are going to train actually the other teams and to be part of the transformation. The difficulty was actually to define what will be the metrics for these coaches,
yes,
how they are going to know that they picked up a team from 0, let's say, up until we just added 1 to 10, right? We give them a measurement, right?
Yes.
By training and doing that. So
okay.
I think it's very difficult to quantify what a coach actually is doing,
yes,
and how she improves the team.
Ooh, okay. She wants to talk because she wants to get on the phone. No, we won't pick on her. Where's Tom? Tom, you have someone?
Anyone?
Who wants to go? Somebody. Talk.
My takeaway is that, and I'm on an Agile transition team at the moment as well.
You call it transition or transformation?
Transformation.
Okay, right. Yeah.
And what I found was that it is easier actually to think in terms of what the transformation is, what the transformation team needs to look like, if you actually understand in more detail what the problem is and what the problems your company is trying to solve.
Yep.
And then the team is easier to define.
Yes. And you don't want to just be a solution looking for a problem. You want to start with the problem first. It's always easy to understand the problem. Everybody, wait a minute, no, that's why we do root cause analysis and all that kind of stuff, right? Exactly. What do you want to say?
I didn't really know much about Agile, and it was really great coming here and learning from everyone and just collaborating in a welcoming environment.
And all these guys are just as crazy as you expected. Okay. Okay. Trish, please.
Okay, got it. Works. Okay, so the whole process was really great. It really came together for us at the end. I really liked the approach, or we really liked it, by defining the situation, getting the vision, identifying the metrics so we know what we're being measured at, and then at the end of it, coming together with user stories, right? So that was really interesting. Also, in the context of a transformation, rather than delivering a product, if you know what I mean, right?
It's a very different kind of product, isn't it?
Yeah,
that you're delivering.
But it's still a product.
It
right?
is.
But it's a very different lens.
Yes.
So that was a big takeaway for me. So thank you for that.
Oh, okay. You're quite welcome. Is it Gordon?
Yeah.
Okay, you brought your transformation team here, right? So I'd like to. What was your biggest takeaway? Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Oh, okay. Okay, so what if you want to, give us a reaction, or somebody else. Anybody else on that team, on that group? Don't all speak at once. He's ready to take it. He'll take it.
Do you want your reaction?
It was great.
It was great. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the long report or the short report?
Yeah, that was the long story.
That was the long story.
Was I think we kept switching. I think it connects to that gentleman's point. We kept switching from figuring out what's our problem as the transformation team and what's the problem in the transformation for the other team that we need to transform.
Yes.
And so
who are our customers and what are their customers' problems?
Yeah. So what's their problem and what's our problem? And that constant back and forth was very interesting.
Yes.
Really defining the problem.
Okay. Throw somebody over here under the bus. And then we're going to get you. Yeah, because you thought that was funny.
Sure.
No, we
So
won't do
some
that.
of the biggest takeaways, a lot of what people have reiterated, but the importance of getting buy-in and getting people's like appetite wet for actually doing some of this, so that you're not just leading the charge by yourself. If you are, good luck. And then having metrics of success so that you know if you're actually moving the needle forward and trying to take what I see as like a bit of an MVP approach. So not trying to change everything overnight, but trying to have those small wins over time and just realizing that it's a long-term gain.
It's a long, long road with many a winding turn. Okay, anybody over here? You want it? Okay, just a second.
One of my takeaways.
I didn't mean her to do that.
Oh, that's
But you
fine.
volunteered. Thank you.
One of my takeaways here is the power of a group and just seeing what can be accomplished if we all work together rather than individually.
Yes. And if we all work together, then we're all kind of volunteering to do this. And we're all more bought in because we help build it together. It's now becoming our baby. It's a secret Jedi mind trick.
Thank you for this evening. Building a vision is a team sport, and take the time to get it right.
Yes. Makes sense? Okay, let's do one or two more over here. Tom, anybody else over here? Lori, do you want to talk? You got to use your outdoor voice unless we can get the mic over to you quick.
Now, the thing that was interesting about us was it was easy to get, I think someone said something similar, it was easy to get muddled in our scenario because we talked about the transformation team, the customer, the business. So then when it came to creating the vision, we got struggled between putting the lines between them and focusing the transformation team, like the requirements of the end user and the business crept in. And we had to say, no, that's what the work would be. We're transforming the team that's doing the work.
Yes.
You know, so
Okay.
it was just to be really clear.
Okay, thank you. Or you can give it back to him. But thank you. Okay, it's 7 minutes after 8 according to my clock. So there's important business to do tonight. That is to say, we're going where? Or you guys are going where?
Kelly's Landing.
Kelly's Landing at 8:30. At 8:30, right? Not very
Right
far
after
away.
here.
Front Street
Front and York.
Front and York. Okay, thank you. I really enjoyed it. You guys did a great job. If you want to get this slide deck, it's over there. And you have on one of these pages, in the slide deck, a little information about me. So if you'd like to talk about it more, I'd love to talk about it, or maybe help you, whatever. But anyway, thanks so much. Have a good night.
Hi, everybody. Can you give us a hand at cleaning up all of the tables? There's bins over on the side for garbage and recyclables. Thank you.
Should we bring some down? Should we bring one or two down?